Hey guys, welcome back to Semojo Homestead. We are enjoying a lovely day. It is beautiful out here.
Yeah.
And that means we get to work in the garden in beautiful weather.
So we are getting a lot done in the garden today.
Yes.
So there'll actually be several
Several videos, yes.
throughout the day. But
Yeah.
right now, we want to focus on planting and getting the rest of the stuff. I think the rest of the stuff, I hope,
There's one thing.
planted in our garden.
Yes. Yes, we do have something. So Jess, our friend Jess, gave us a pumpkin. Josiah has claimed that pumpkin, and he wants to plant those pumpkin seeds, but that will be in our orchard, not here in the garden.
Yeah. We're going to bring you guys along and just talk about what we're planting and the things that we still have to get in the ground. So the first thing that we're going in to plant are our okra. So these are the ones that we saved from last year, which are Wimpy White okra. We were a pretty big fan of them. I think overall, I probably do still prefer the Clemson Spineless, but the Wimpy White is very prolific. What I really do like about it is that it is an old variety. And so it's just kind of cool to know that in our garden, we are growing something that used to be grown in this area and was probably like the original okra variety that was grown in South Carolina. So I think that's pretty cool. The taste difference isn't enough for me to just say I don't want to grow it. Where Clemson Spineless has a slight edge to me on the flavor and taste and stuff, this has just as much of an edge in the historic side of it, the story behind it and everything. And just knowing that we're a part of being able to keep this thing alive and get it back into circulation, because we do share these seeds with anyone that we may know that would appreciate them and grow them. So we are going to put it back here. I don't know if you guys noticed as I was talking, I went through the spiral in the upper corner, back side of our garden, because the Wimpy White is, if you're not familiar with it, one that does get pretty tall, but also really bushy. It sends out like these side shoots and takes up a lot of room. So we just need it to be sort of in its own area, not where it's going to be around other things that are going to have to compete with space or for space with it. So it's going back here. It earned its spot back here in the timeout corner, but it's not because it misbehaves. It's just because it's a special kind of plant.
So last year we grew lots of basil in our garden, and at the end of the season we let it go to seed. So one of my goals is to start harvesting our own seeds, letting plants go to seed and harvesting the seeds, because we once we can harvest seeds from the plants that have grown in our garden, the seeds are more acclimated to our soil and our climate, so that way they can grow better in our garden. So I have some basil seed pods. I actually just kept the pod and let it dried in them, so I kept the pod. I have some seed pods I'm going to plant. I will be planting a significant amount of basil for a couple of reasons. The first is that it is a pest deterrent. The second is that we love to have fresh basil on sandwiches and pizza and stuff like that. The third is that we also love to make very large batches of concentrated pesto, and then we freeze them, and we use that frozen pesto in pasta throughout the entire year. It makes it very easy on dance nights or crazy nights to just pull some of those out of the freezer. We can pre-make the pasta to al dente and then pour hot water on it, and it's ready to go. Pour the pesto sauce over it, put some mozzarella cheese or some chicken, and we have a great meal in a very, very short amount of time on a busy evening. So in this bed behind me, We have some things on the outside of it, but there's nothing planted in the very center. So I'm going to go ahead and plant some partial eclipse squash seeds there. Partial eclipse is like a patty pan squash. It's very pretty. It will add a lot of color to dishes. And it's something I don't think I've ever had partial eclipse squash before. My aunt got us these seeds from Urban Farmer. So I'm excited to try them. I'm excited to grow them in this space. And I might find a couple other places to put them in the garden just because I want to go ahead and have a lot that we can harvest.
So the other thing that we're going to plant, and there's only one more thing after this, is melons. So we're going to try both of these melons this year. We have not done, I don't think, either one of these varieties. I'm really excited about that banana melon. Some of you guys commented and said it was pretty good. There are definitely mixed reviews on that when you look online, so we'll see. But we're going to plant both of these over here along the cucumber row. So our thinking behind that, and the reason we're planting them over here, is because this is the wettest part of the garden. It stays wet. It's the low part. All the water runs down to it. Melons thrive with excess water. So we're going to put them down here and see how they do. This also has been composted and then recomposted this year. So this soil should be really good. Our cucumbers, you guys saw them in the garden tour that we did this weekend. They are looking really good. So if you missed that garden tour, be sure to check it out. I'll link it right here for you. But enough about that. Let's get planting on these fun melon varieties.
So we are getting ready to clean up these beds. We have some sweet peas that we're growing here, and we're going to go ahead and use these trellises to grow all of our Sea Island red beans. If you haven't heard about Sea Island red beans, it's a small red bean that actually Sean Brock brought back to existence. They thought it was lost, and he likes to have them in his restaurants. And another homesteader came and did kind of a collaborative video with us and brought us some Sea Island red beans that he had gotten from Sean Brock's garden in Charleston, South Carolina. So we have had those for a couple years now. We've really enjoyed having them in the garden. They're very prolific. They do very well in South Carolina. So we will be filling every trellis and probably the bean teepee with these beans this year.
All right, guys, so apparently the whole closing clip of the video did not take. So, coming on here to say, got most of the stuff planted, and a little update. Because of that, you guys get an update. One set of our sweet potatoes came in the mail today, so we were able to get some of those planted as well, in addition to all of these seeds. So thank you guys for joining us, and as always, hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.